Good morning, YouTube, and today I'll be profiling my Gravekeeper deck profile. This is the one I usually take to, well, actually every single competitive event I've ever been to, I've taken this deck to. And it's very non-traditional, but it's still fun, and that's the way I play. And so, take your judgments and go someplace else. Alright, let's go. First off, I play one Gravekeeper's Visionary. This guy is a fantastic boss monster. It's kind of underrated in my opinion because he gets 200 attack for each Gravekeeper in your graveyard, first off, plus the 500 boost from Necro Valley. Plus, you can, if he were to be destroyed, you can discard a Gravekeeper monster instead. So it automatically comes on the field as probably a 27 because you're going to be tributing. And you can tribute with just one, even though he's an 8-star monster. And I'd also play another tribute. I play a Gravekeeper Shaman. This shuts down Burning Abyss, anything that revolves around the graveyard. It protects your field spell. That was kind of scary. So if you have Necro Valley in the field, they can't play another field spell, as well as it can't be destroyed. Plus, she gains 200 defense for every Gravekeeper in graveyard, so she comes out probably at a 22, give or take. But there's so many different ways to recur her and him, and to bring them back from the grave, so that they're not really too cloggy to have tribute monsters. There's so many times still where I actually do run into both of them, and this isn't that most consistent of a deck, so it's kind of a curse I have. I play one Gravekeeper's Heretic, and he's unaffected by anything so long as Necro Valley's on the field. He's also the highest beater normally without Necro Valley, so it's a pretty nice little tech. It's one of the newer cards that came out. Next, I play triple Gravekeeper's Commandant. Now, it's the one Earth monster of the deck, and it searches out Necro Valley. And so there's so many times actually the Earth aspect comes in handy. It doesn't let you go to Master Key Beetle, but it's great anyway, and it's 2100 beater with Necro Valley. I play one Gravekeeper's Assailant. She is fantastic in that she can switch the battle position of any monster that battles, or actually, no, just any monster on the field. And so, let's say you attack into a weaker monster, and you switch to the battle position of one of your higher attack monsters and attack with a different monster later on. It's pretty good. She's pretty nice. I play two Gravekeeper's Descendant. He's not as good as he used to be because he targets and it requires a tribute, but it's still not that bad. It helps you get off your recruiters, as well as gives you a rank 4 option and a 2000 beater. Next, I play the triple Gravekeeper Spy. I believe he is probably one of the heart and souls of the deck, and that he searches, special summons out a Gravekeeper monster with 1500 attack or less from the deck in any position you want to. So you can set up for a recruiter, you can set up your Descendant, you can set up whatever you want to for rank 4. It's also 2500 butt, and so he's great for that aspect. Next, I run two Gravekeeper's Nobleman. Now, what's fantastic is that it's a continuous loop. What's the technical term for that kind of stuff?
I think it's just called a loop.
A loop where you can spy into Nobleman as many times as you need to. And what Nobleman does is it special summons a Gravekeeper monster from your deck in face-down defense position. So that sets up your Spy. It also goes into your Visionary or your Shaman if you want to. It goes into whatever you want it to, as well as a fun little tech that I enjoy. Whoops, not quite there yet. The triple Gravekeeper's Recruiter. This was a fantastic addition later on that came that searches for any monster from your or Gravekeeper monster from your deck. Well, almost any monster with 1500 less defense, and it adds to your hand. So that searches out your Commandant, which is fantastic, and it gets your Necro Valley. And so almost always you're going to see Necro Valley first turn, and he's a 2000 beater or defense with Necro Valley. Next, I run two Gravekeeper's Guard. This is the fun little tech I'm throwing you with Nobleman. It's 2400 defense, and it's sort of a Penguin Soldier for one monster. It's another rank 4 option, and whenever people play against Gravekeepers, they assume when you're setting a monster, you're setting Spy. And so I take that assumption and I throw it back in their face. Literally, because it bounces something back to your hand. It's a joke. And the one non-Gravekeeper monster in this deck is Fossildyna Pachycephalo. Pachysaurus, whatever it is. And when you special flip summon, when it's flip face up, destroy all special summon monsters and your opponent can't special summon. It's a Vanity's Enfiness. And it's another thing that people don't normally see. I used to have a Neospatial Grandma instead of this. This was just a higher stats and it's a normal summonable prevention of special summons. It's pretty cool in my opinion. Next, I run triple Necro Valley. This is what makes the deck run. This is what makes it current. They can't get out there Like you can't do your Cosmo effects, you can't do a lot of your Monarch effects. It's just fantastic. Shuts down so many decks and makes you able to keep the pace at your own will, which I like slower paces, and so this is a perfect card for me.
I think it's just a naturally good card, this format in general.
Yeah,
People are just now discovering how good of a card this is.
Well, it used to be, like, people used to always love it, and then people forgot about it. That's what happens with time.
Like, shoot,
and then somebody's tried to... Many people just main deck this card, doesn't it? Most anti-mana decks kind of main deck this.
Oh, yeah, of course.
This is pretty cool. And it gives you a 500 attack defense boost for your Gravekeepers, which people forget about, which is nice, because then they attack into your monster and realize they took life points.
It's funny.
Oh, well, yeah, I have a fun little effect going on here. I play 2 Gravekeeper Stell. It adds 2 Gravekeeper monsters from your graveyard to your hand. Ignore Necker Valley. What's bad about that? And to complete a little pyramid, I have the 1 Royal Tribute, because that's all you can run. You play it, Necker Valley's in the field, both players discard all monsters in their hands. So you play all your monsters first, and then you discard it, and then, like, if first turn against Pendulums, this is heart-wrenching. First turn against them, just about anything. It's a lot of times if you draw this, you win. That's kind of why it's at 1, but I think it could come back. That's my personal opinion. I hope it comes back. Next, I run 2 Mass Change of the Second. At our most recent regionals we went to, I almost wanted to bump this up to 3 because the Twin Twisters was so daggum prevalent, and that's why I lost most of my games. But this, as you can see, I have plenty of targets, as you'll see eventually, for Mass Change of the Second. Plus, I mean, Dark Law just kind of goes hand in hand with Necker Valley in a sense. And so that's, I mean, it's not that big of a cost, and you can run it, so might as well, right? 1 Raigeki because I like to destroy things. 1 MST. Why 1? Because, well, I have only 1 spot in my 42 card deck, and I wanted to put an MST in it.
Would you consider swapping it over Twin Twisters?
Oh, the thing about Twin Twisters is you have to discard a card, and since I don't run any draw power cards in this deck, I know this isn't card demise Gravekeepers, but I just enjoy Mystical Space Typhoon more, and most of the time I have other outs to a lot of stuff that can be in the back row, and it hasn't really affected me. There's never been a time where I've wanted to see Twin Twisters over Mystical Space Typhoon, because it's a better top deck card too, in my opinion. But either or, it depends on what deck. Next, I play, speaking of getting rid of back row, Imperial Tombs of Necker Valley. This is essentially a what's the Inferni Barrier. That's what most people call it. So many other different terms you can use for it. But you can negate a monster spell or trap effect. And that's, a lot of people would say run this at 2 or 1. I enjoy it at 3. It's never been dead for me at 3, knock on wood. And, yeah, and it looks cool. Next, I play 2 Rite of Spirits. This special summons a Gravekeeper monster from your graveyard, ignoring Necker Valley. Not bad, if you ask me. And
so is it like Cloggy at 3?
Yeah. The thing is that they don't really, not too many of them get effects once they come back. I mean, I've tried it at 3 before, but that was a long time ago, so I might try it again, make a fun little build, and see if I can get 3 to work. Next, I run the Father, the Son, the Holy Ghost, and me. 3 Solemn Strikes and a Solemn Warning. I did not break the bank to get these, but it's fun, and I actually haven't really worried about running out of life points when I'm playing this. I used to not have one of these. I just got one in the mail, and I tried one out actually at a tournament, and I enjoyed having this. I had lose turn before, but this works so much better in my opinion, and it's so cool. And to round up our traps, I have some random hodgepodge. I have Storming Mirror Force, and a Bottomless Trap Hole, because, why one of each? Because I like this rarity so much. That's really the reason, and it's something different. I like diversity in my decks. Moving on to the extra deck, I run a Chimera Tech Fortress Dragon, because why not? The extra deck isn't too important and too cloggy, so in my opinion, if you have room in your extra deck, play this card. I mean, just for fun.
Get out of here, Cosmo.
Yeah, get out of here, Cosmo. There's Despots. You can see, you run into people who play Cyber Dragons. They're not that bad of a deck. 2 Mass Hero Ankis. Why? Because he's based off my favorite Kamen Hibiki, and 2, because it's another option for your Mass Change the Second. I actually have gone to a second one before, and so I don't mind it. That's another reason I'm playing the 3rd Mass Change the Second. 2 Dark Laws, because Dark Law is Dark Law. 1 Cowboy for game. Abyss Dweller, you don't really need this too much because graveyard effects won't really be worrying about too much, but it's an option. Steals from Papa Roach, Heartland Draco, because you're gonna have should have a face-up spell card. If not, it's bad luck. Castell for spinning. Number 101. Let's see, number 101. 103. And 1 Anti-Luminescent Knight, because I actually tried him a little bit later on, and it worked out pretty well, as well as Ragnar Zero. I actually went into this is the last-minute tech at one of our most recent tournaments, and I thoroughly enjoyed every moment of it. 1 Master Key Beetle, protect Necro Valley. 1 Dark Rebellion for Exceed's Dragon, for getting over pesky attack monsters and being big beat stick is nice.
Where's the Diamond Direwolf?
I don't like Diamond Direwolf. Hold on. Diamond Direwolf is a fantastic tech choice in the proper deck, but in my opinion, I think is a negative. It looks awesome, but does not belong in generic rank 4. Crucify me for it. I don't care.
It's a good neg one.
Moving on to the side deck. All right, 1 Gamera, Protector of Children. I used to run Lava Golem instead, and then Danny here is like, you gotta run the kaijus. You have all the kaijus, might as well run them. I was like, fine. And so it actually came to a fun thing where I was in a tournament, and I was playing up against a Cosmo player. And he had a way to, what's the Dolphin Megazord, or Dolphin Zord, the blue one.
Oh, yeah.
That can destroy a spell or trap card on either player's turn, and he had a Dark Planet out. I was like, frick, what am I supposed to do here? Because, like, you could either tribute off the Dark Planet, or you could tribute off the freaking Dolphin. I was like, okay, fine, I'll tribute off the Dolphin. And then I set a Nobleman, and I went into a guard. And so I just returned Gamera back to my hand. And I was like, oh, I'll tribute Dark Planet. And so it's a fun little tech, and I very much appreciate Danny's option for it. And getting over the defense isn't too bad, because there's ways to get around it. It's a cool card.
Was it just not space for more?
In the extract?
Yes, I did.
Well, we haven't even seen the rest of it yet.
Yeah,
1 Cyber Dragon for your Chimera Tech plays. Another Shaman, because PK Fire and Burning Abyss and Law of Gravekeeper love, or Graveyard. Law of Graveyard love happens these days, and I usually take out the Visionary. And she's not bad when I side deck her in if I can see her.
Broken, man.
That Neospatial Grandma I took out because Xyz's heavy extra decks, or decks, really like this. Or really hate this. I like it against those. Monarch hate, Cosmo hate,
yeah,
and fun random stuff. I run 3 Curse of Darkness. Each time a spell card is activated, that player takes 1,000 life points. So if you have 2 of these set, and you're playing against a Pendulum deck, yeah, you can play your Monkey Board, Guitarle, and what other stuff, just destroy your stuff, but you're going to take 6,000 damage turn 1. I mean, and if you want to play Instant Fusion, it's going to cost you 2,000. So it's a fun little tech against spell heavy decks that I enjoy, and it makes them stop. It slows down their plays, which is again what I thoroughly enjoy about this deck.
Sorry, Monarchs.
Yeah. Woo. And then I play 2-dimensional wall. This is a magic cylinder on steroids, in my opinion. When your opponent whenever you take battle damage, your opponent takes all battle damage you would. It doesn't target, it just flats out do it to them instead of you. So, it may not negate their attack, but it gives them all damage without any conditions. And that's why I run this instead of another kaiju. I might consider making a fun little side deck with all kaijus, but we'll see. That's my Gravekeeper deck profile. This is my favorite deck. And if you have any comments, feel free to leave them. But this is what I love. Thanks. Have a great day.